Success as an ACN independent business owner, IBO, is not guaranteed, but rather influenced by an individual's specific efforts. No one can be guaranteed success as an IBO. This presentation was recorded during the Gold Coast International event, 27 to 29 September 2019. This presentation may contain information regarding the ACN compensation plan, promotions, and product pricing, which has changed since the date of the recording. Views expressed and any claims or comparisons made by IBOs presenting are theirs and not ACN's. Please check acn.com and IBO back office for up-to-date information.
So I'm going to talk to you about my story today. And you see, I come from a very ordinary background, completed a degree in engineering, worked for one of the biggest engineering companies in the world, didn't like that, wasn't fulfilling, then went to another company, and then changed my profession, went into management, worked for one of the biggest insurance companies in the whole of the UK. I wasn't fulfilled, you see. I tried everything out there because I'm somebody who won't quit. I mean, I won't quit, I'll try everything. So here's what it is. I tried the 5 different options that most people go for. Option number 1 was the blue-collar career. And I was the engineer. I did the blue collar, exchanging time for money, didn't like it. I tried the white collar career, management role, you know, managing other people, but I didn't like that. I tried the sales role. You know, I hated the targets. I didn't like that. Number 4, I tried the business route, invested tens and thousands of dollars, but I didn't like that because the business is only successful if it works with or without you. Number 5, I tried the investment role. And here's what it is. I was pressurized day after day, day after day, night after night. All different 5 different career options that I took, didn't like any of it, and I was searching and searching and searching, and I was pressurized constantly. You know, in my company, I really didn't enjoy it. Every single day, frustrated of being sick and tired, of being sick and tired. And I was a very good worker. As in the last many years that I worked, I never took a single day off work. Not a single day. Till one day, I was actually thinking of taking a day off work because the house got flooded. Do you understand? And when the house got flooded, I called my boss and I said, I can't come to work. He said, in your CV, you said swimming was one of your hobbies, so I'll see you at work. What's the point of giving your life to a company that one day will discard you? Yes or yes? If you die, they will put your replacement on the actual newspaper before your funeral. Isn't that crazy? And that is when I came across the greatest industry of all, the industry, one of the industries that created the most amount of millionaires on the planet. And in that industry, I found the finest company that ever existed, and that is ACN. And what did I see? I saw the world's largest direct seller of telecommunications, energy, and essential services. I saw a company that deals with multi-trillion-dollar industries in energy, in telecom, in finance, in security. I saw a company with over 25 years of track record, and most companies in this industry don't last 10 years. I saw a company where the first time in my life, I saw the word unlimited. Say unlimited. An unlimited residual income. That means you write your own paycheck. Isn't that amazing? I saw a company that I don't have to go out and sell lotions, potions, or creams, or juices. Yes, I work with essential services that people can't live without, and I get paid on these bills. It was just common sense, getting paid on the bills you pay every single time. And then I saw a company where I can right now sit anywhere in the world and then build a business in over 25 countries all over the planet. Look at the opportunity. The 25 countries all over. Yes, today is 26 and many more to come in. America, Mexico, Canada, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, Austria, Belgium, Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Japan, Colombia. Can you see the opportunity right in front of you? You work locally, but you build globally. I saw a company that betters itself every single month. Look at the last 26 years and what we have done. We better ourselves and we better ourselves and we better ourselves. It reminds me of Betty Butter. Betty Butter bought some butter, butter was so bitter, so Betty Butter bought some better butter to make the bitter butter better. Look back 25 years, you'll see a company that has grown every single day. And then the secret sauce of our company that makes our company the best in the world. The secret sauce, the 4 co-founders that we have. Lions who maintain integrity. People who kept their words. You see, mentors who I want my kids for them to be like. Integrity in suits. That is what I saw. I get offers from a lot of different companies all over the time. And all the time. And here's what I tell them. I will come over to your company if you've got these 4 men who are going to run it. Does this make sense? And I grabbed this opportunity. I followed their leadership. And my life completely turned around. Because before ACN, this was my life. A pressure cooker life, yes. I was I was really, really pressurized. I thought I was a pressure cooker. You understand? Unbelievable. And for me, who was my boss? BOSS, blowing off serious steam every day. Does that make sense? And once I took ACN today on Monday morning, this is how I look. A residual lifestyle. I'm rich today, rich in health, wealth, and wisdom. That is why RICH stands for RICH. Residual income creates happiness. Isn't that amazing? I appreciate everything. One of my business partners asked me that day, why are you so happy all the time? It's because I have the gratitude attitude, because I'm so blessed to be here today. You know, I remember waking up every single morning, force-feeding myself, getting into a car, stuck in traffic every single day, sometimes in a train, going up and down, overcrowded, smelling people's body odor. I hated it. Going to the same place to work every single day, making the same stress people every single day, and then coming back and living a box life and over and over and over again. I hated it. But today, my office is simple. From the 3rd floor, I go to my office. This is my ground floor. Isn't that amazing? And I get to work from home. I get to work from home with that's my 3rd son there, and my best friend who's Albert Einstein. Isn't that crazy? That's me teaching my son to do an online presentation. He's 3 months old. Isn't that crazy? If you take this business seriously, my friends, I'm telling you, your life is going to turn around. So here's what it is. My story today, I'm not here to motivate you. I'm here to inspire you. See, because in 2012, we had the London Olympics, the Olympics in our country. And you know what happened is I went down and I saw. See, nobody worries or nobody wants to know about, the position number 3 or the bronze medalist. Nobody wants to know about position number 2, the silver medalist. Everybody is interested about the gold medalist. Yes or yes? And that inspired me. And here's what I wanted to do. As I come here to the Gold Coast, I'm going to talk to you about gold today. Yes or yes? I'm going to talk to you about what makes these individuals who win gold, make them champions. What makes them champions? And there were certain characteristics. And that is what gold is going to be today. G.O.L.D. That's what going to be my topic today on where I'm going to stand here in the Gold Coast and teach you the secrets of what the gold winners do. The first thing that I found about these, you see, the secret of success. Secret of success is study successful people. Yes or yes? Copy successful people, you become successful. If you listen to successful people, you become what? If you listen to unsuccessful people, you become what? So that's what it is. So let's see what G stands for. You see, every single champion, every single gold winner out there, you see, G stood for guided. They were actually guided. And you see, these champions were guided by 2 things. The first thing that they were guided is a mentor or a coach. One of the best things of coming into ACN is this. You won't get this. You leave this arena right now. You go outside. Not one successful business owner is going to come and teach you the secrets of their business. Because you know why? If they teach you the secrets of their business, you now become their competition. Yes or yes? But in ACN is the exact opposite. You're actually going to come in and you're going to be coached and mentored by a series of leaders who want to get you to the very top. Does this make sense? These are leaders who will cry when you achieve financial freedom. Where else in the world do you get that? Isn't it amazing that we have a business where we rise when we lift others up? Who thinks that's an amazing business? Yes or yes? Let me tell you, the biggest exercise that you can have for your heart, the biggest exercise is when you bend down and lift other people up. That's the best exercise you'll have for the rest of your life. Yes or yes? And that is why somebody asked me the other day, why did you come into ACN? In the beginning, I came into ACN for success. What is success doing? What do you want? When you want? Where you want? Wherever you want? With whoever you want? However you want? Yes or yes? But once you attain success, why do you do then ACN? Why do you then do it? It's for significance. It's about how many people have you made successful. And that's the beauty about this business. You see, how do you cross the minefield? You follow the footsteps. As long as you stay in the footsteps, here's what it is. You're going to become a champion. So champions are gold-winning champions. One, they're guided by mentors and coaches. And the second thing that they're guided are with the system. Yes or yes? What does SYSTEM stand for? SYSTEM, save yourself serious time, energy, and money. Yes? That's what it is. So if you come into ACN, you don't have to create a new system. Somebody asked me the other day, Liju, why do you always train on the same things? It's because it's not broken. Why fix it? Yes? See, I want to talk about the fastest runner in the world, the greatest gold medalist in running. Yes? Usain Bolt. He made $119 million by just running 115 seconds in the Olympics. So for almost an average of 1 second, he made 1 million. But is it that the case? But no, it's 20 years of being guided by a coach and 20 years of being guided by systems, a weight training system, a speed training system, a diet system. That's what made Usain Bolt the fastest runner in the world. So today, as you're here today, I'm going to talk to you about the system, because the system is what going to guarantee you success in ACN. Look at any big achiever in this industry. Look at any big achiever in ACN. One thing you will find in their growth pattern is there was something called a 90-day burst. And that's called the 90-day game plan. And this is what you want to take attention. The 90-day game plan is going to give you success in ACN. That 90-day burst. Because you see, champions don't go all out every single day, because you will burn out. Would you agree? Yes or yes? So you have a 90-day burst, so that's what you got to understand. But before I dwell into the 90-day burst, you know what? You want to understand, what does someone who comes into ACN, what do they need to do? What is their strategy to become a successful gold winner in ACN? And this is the strategy. You see, we don't want them to do too much, because you'll scare them off. Here's what you got to do. First, 10 pages of a book a day. Because you see, personal development is so important in ACN, because you attract who you are. If you ask somebody to read 1 book a day, they won't be able to do it. But can they do 10 pages of a book a day? Yes, because the average book is 300 pages. So if you read 10 pages of a book a day, that's a book a month. So then you know what? Your mind is being fed. Once the mind is set, everything else will follow. Second thing you want to do, the average person who comes in, is you want to add 2 prospects daily to your list. 2 prospects daily. Simple. That is speaking to people, identifying them, adding on to your contact list. Where do you find them? You go and network on purpose where there are people out there, or you go Facebook. Billions of people waiting for your conversation with them. What's the next thing that a person would need to do? It's very simple. 2 weekly PBRs. 2 meetings in a week where you do it yourself, you're open line, and you show people the opportunity. What else? 1 Saturday training in a week. 1 Saturday training where you go in and bring at least 2 personal guests, and then 2 international events in a year. That's the minimum, because the international events is this recipe for success, where you go in with a team of people. Now, how much time? What is the daily method of operation for somebody? How much time do I need to spend? That looks like a lot of things to do for someone like me. No, is you explain the value of time. How do you prioritize, or what's the time management system? So if you look at it, there's 24 hours in a day. Multiply by that by 7, that's 168 hours per week. Let's say you work 40 hours a week. So take 40 hours out. Let's say you slept for 8 hours a day. So that's 56 hours. You take that out. Let's say you spend time with your family, eating, cooking, doing all the bits. That's 5 hours a day. So that's 35 hours. You take that out. What is remaining is 37 hours. You see, what separates the champions from the ordinary is what you do with that 37 hours over there. You see, what most people do is they take 37 hours and they use it for entertainment. What do champions do? They use it for education and entrepreneurship. The 37 hours. So use those 37 hours to read 10 pages of a book a day, to speak to 2 prospects daily, to do 2 PBRs in a week, to attend the Saturday training and take 2 guests with yourself, and attend the 2 international conventions in a year. This is your strategy. For an ordinary a person who wants to build ACM part-time and get financial freedom in a period of time. But here's what I want to now talk about. It's called compressing time frames. You see, what leaders do is, what great champions understand, is that you can become a regional vice president in 10 years, and you can become a regional vice president in 1 year. The effort it takes is exactly the same, but why waste 9 years? So here's what you want to do is use a 90-day burst to do it really quickly. Because if someone is doing 40 hours and someone's doing 80 hours, the person doing 80 hours gets the results faster. So if you want to do a 90-day burst, do exactly what you ask other people to do, but do it 4 times. So instead of 2 pages a day, read 8 pages a day. Instead of 2 people that you actually prospect, do 8 people that you prospect. Instead of 2 PBRs weekly, do 8 weekly PBRs. And instead of taking 2 guests to the Saturday event, take 8 people to the Saturday event. And instead of getting the 2 international events that were taking 10 people, take 40 people. So when you compress the time frame, here's what happens. You get faster results. And you will see this in some of the greatest leaders in the industry and in ACN. This 90-day burst, they take 90-day burst and they take a break. A 90-day burst and they take a break. And this is what they do. Once you do that, this is the daily method of operation. This is how you get accountability in your team. Get your team members to do exactly the same thing, and now you can ask them on a weekly basis, how many pages of a book did you read? How many prospects did you speak to? And you manage accountability. Now, once they've understood the strategy, then take your team members to the system of ACN. The system of ACN is taking them from one event to another event, to another event, to another event, because EVENT, events means elevating vision, eliminating negative thoughts. Yes or yes? Now, what's the strategy? The strategy for champions in ACN is very simple. You put them into the ACN machine, you bring in new IBOs into the business, and then your strategy is get them to become an executive team leader. That's the strategy. If every single person in your team becomes an executive team leader, you're going to become a senior vice president in ACN. Who thinks that's quite amazing? That's the strategy. Every single person that comes in, get them to become an executive team leader, and then you rotate the machine, put them through the strategy, and that's what you got. So here's what it is. So G in GOLD stands for you're guided by a system, and you're guided by mentors in ACN. Next thing you want to understand, the O in becoming a champion, a gold-winning champion, is O means you're going to get opposed. Opposition is going to be so key in this business. Any champion you look in the world who've achieved gold, you look back into their history at some point in their life, they went through some severe amounts of opposition. So as soon as you come in this business, here's what you got to do. You got to understand that inside the opportunity comes the opposition. Yes or yes? You're going to get opposed, and this is what you're going to see when you first come into ACN. You got to forearm your new IBOs, your new business partners. You got to give them the actual vaccination, the dream stealer vaccination, saying that there are going to be dream stealers out there, and you are going to find them, and many of them are going to sometimes come as your own relatives. Does this make sense? Because 3 kinds of people in the world: positive, negative, and relatives. Yes or yes? You have no idea the amount of opposition that we have to go through to get on the stage. Let me tell you a story of when I first started. I was an executive team leader. I managed to get about 200 people in my team. And at that time, you see, when you first start, you build within your own community. And that time what happened is my local community, the biggest newspaper, one of the editors, the owners of the newspaper really, called the editor to call me up and says, hey Liju, listen what, this is what you got to do. I understand that you're doing really well with your ACN business. Listen, why don't you just put $5,000 into our newspaper so we can advertise ACN for you? I said, listen, we don't use advertisement methods, so thank you, but no thank you. You know what he said? He said, if you actually don't put those $5,000, tomorrow I'm going to write a news about ACN, and that will be it. ACN will be no more, your business will shut down. I said, really? All right, all the very best, God bless you. The next day, in the actual newspaper, online newspaper, with over 500,000, readership within our own community, the big news: beware of a big scammer. For under 500 pounds, you can get started. How can you become a millionaire? A fraudster is going around selling fake gas and electricity, and he will take all your money and you will get broke. Isn't that crazy? I had more than 100 phone calls before 8 o'clock in the morning in my phone. My entire family was rattled because the fraudster is living in the home. Does that make sense? Yeah. And here's the worst part about it is out of my 200 people in my team, more than 100 of them quit. You can see them quit through the WhatsApp groups. Does that make sense? 100 of them quit, leave. See, that's the kind of opposition. Somebody who has got integrity and credibility all their life, all of a sudden is a laughing stock in the community. But you see, at that time, here's my biggest advice to you. You see, a smooth sea never created a skillful sailor. Yes or yes? While the 100 people had quit in my team, the other 100 were watching what their leader did. Yes? So I went for my meetings, and there in my meetings, there it was. I acted like nothing happened, and they were expecting me to get a result. And then people started asking, hey, Liju, you got all of these things that's said about you. Why are you not reacting? I said, listen, when a lion walks through the jungle, the dogs will bark on the side, but the lion just keeps on walking. It doesn't have time. Doesn't have time. That was my nice answer. Then I gave him a scientific answer, saying that the world is made of, scientists say that the world is made of protons, neutrons, and electrons, but they forgot to mention morons. Yes or yes? That's what's going to happen. And this is what it is. So, but you know what? That editor wrote in the newspaper 5 times. But every single time he wrote on that newspaper, some people left, stronger people came in. Some people left, the stronger people stayed in. Some people left, the stronger. So the newspaper was giving me the best publicity that I ever wanted, till he himself quit on writing bad things about me. Yes, so yes. By the way, that newspaper is shut down right now, so that's not a problem anymore. Yes? Because you got to understand, somebody told me, one of my business partners asked the other day, hey Liju, listen, I have these people that I want to call, but I don't feel like I can call them because I'm feeling like I'm going to disturb them with the ACN opportunity. I said, listen, this is what you're doing with the ACN opportunity. You see, we are giving them a solution to their problems. We are giving them an opportunity to make a life-changing decision. So if you only have a problem in calling someone, if you think that you are the giver, if you are a beggar, that's a beggar who's asking them to take something for you. Let me tell you something, your friends don't have an opportunity for you, that's why they don't call you. But you have an opportunity for them to change their life forever, and you're giving it to them. And if they can't see it, don't worry about it. Because you know why? Birds born in a cage think flying is an illness. You see, the problem is most people are educated in school to look for a job and not to become an entrepreneur. Yes, so yes. So that is the reason why one of the richest people in the world, that's a billionaire, Jack Ma, said this, listen, if you put bananas and money in front of monkeys, the monkeys will always select the bananas because the monkey doesn't know that money can buy bananas. So why are you worried? You just have to give them the opportunity, and if they actually don't take the opportunity, you move on. Some will, some won't, so what next? 6 will, some are waiting, yes or yes. And every single time when I look at somebody right now, you know, and they don't take the opportunity, it's not a problem, big deal, look, see you later, banana. Does that make sense? Banana, B-A-N-A-N-A, building absolutely nothing anywhere near anything. And you are there building your residual empire. Why are you taking advice from bananas? Yes or yes? Stop taking constructive criticism from people who have never constructed anything. When I got started, listen, it was so simple for me. The goal was simple. You want to become a senior vice president, you got 6 leaders. That's all you need. Wow, I got 6 best friends. So I thought, look at this. This is my journey to senior vice president. Easy. Then I realized reality is different. This is what the journey to senior vice president looks like. You first get started, you got to jump a few hoops to get to CQ, customer qualified. And then you get to ETL as a climb, but you will get up to executive team leader. That's not too bad. And then you have the valley of death. Most people die in the valley of death. Before regional direct, you will see people come into your business, they pay $500, they come inside, they get executive team leader, they make $2,000, they made a profit, and then you don't see them anymore. Why? Because they died in the valley of death. Because once you get to ETL to RD, you got to learn some swimming. Does that make sense? You got to learn some rowing. Does that make sense? That's what you got to understand. And then you get to regional director. Oh, then you need to learn climbing, yes? To regional vice president. And then from regional vice president to senior vice president, oh my goodness, you got to go through the biggest storms. Does this make sense? This is reality. Say, this is reality. Make everybody aware the main reason for why people quit into your business is because they think ACN is going to get an easy ride. So you got to manage their expectations, yes or yes. But listen, you tell them you're going to go for the most shaken ride of your life. But listen, let me tell you something. You stay in the game. You keep moving forward. You will achieve your financial freedom. Because here's my advice to you. If you find the right goal, find the right destination, all you got to do is keep moving. Say, keep moving. And you got to make them understand that the way to get to senior vice president is by taking the biggest vitamin called no. Say N-O. You got to take as many no's as possible to get to the very top. Start falling in love with the word no. Yes, so yes. There's a gentleman called Alan Breed in 1967. And you know what? There was cars that just got started. And he invented the airbag sensor. And he went to the 3 biggest manufacturers and he gave them the airbag sensor. This is so important for your car. They said, no, we will not accept it. He went to the government and he said, listen, you need to put these sensors in the car because it's very important. They said, no. And you know what happened? They said, no. It took him 20 years of listening to the word no. That's when the government finally approved it. And then after that, still the car manufacturers didn't take it on. Another 10 years later, the car manufacturers finally accepted his airbag sensor. So 30 years of hearing no, and then he gets his biggest sale of the 30 years. 23 million sensors were bought from him. He made $120 million. Isn't that amazing? But did he make $120 million after 30 years? No. Every year he was listening to the word no, he was making $4 million a year. Isn't that amazing? So if you understand the concept that every no is leading towards your yes, you speak to 10 people to get 1 IBO, and that 1 IBO is going to give you $1,000 in a year. So every no now becomes $100. Yes, so yes. That's the attitude of a champion, because for you to win gold, you've got to understand that there has to be opposition, because if there is no opposition, you are not going to be a champion. Yes, so yes. Because only because of the opposition, that's when the champions come out. Otherwise, everyone would be SVPs and RVPs. Yes, so yes. And then that's G is you're guided by a system and a mentor. O means you're going to be opposed. L means you're going to be a leader in ACN. Same thing. You see, champions who win gold are leaders in their field. And how do I show you who a real leader is you look at the eagle. You look at the eagle will tell you how you got to be a leader. Yes? Because when an eagle looks at someone, you know they're an eagle. Yes, so yes. You see, the eagle is the master of the skies. The eagle lives up to 70 years, very similar to human beings. But what happens is at 40 years, its beak gets bent, its claws get bent, and it gets heavy feathers, and now it can't survive, it can't eat anymore. So the eagle has to go through a change process. Say change process. And so the eagle is either you change or you die. So eagle then, the ones who want to change, the eagles want to change, they go to the top of a mountain, and then against a rock, it builds a nest, and then every single day, it beats its beak on the actual mountain. It gets this claws, and it beats its claws on the actual mountain till it breaks the claws, breaks the beak. The eagle is bleeding, but it's going through the pain, but it knows that if I don't do this, I will not be able to survive. So in the pains, it's still positive. Does that make sense? That's why PAIN stands for P-A-I-N-S, positive attitude in negative situations. Go through the pains, and then the eagle goes through that, and then a new beak will come out, new claws will come out. Using the claws, it removes its old feathers, and then it takes the actual flight of rebirth, and it flies with a 9 feet wide wingspan, and it flies above the skies. That's what you got to do. See, nobody's born as an SVP in the world. Nobody's born as an RVP in the world. Nobody's born as a leader in the world. You got to go through a change process, a transformation process, and that needs to happen. So some of you right now are eagles with a lot of feathers. You've got to go through change. Does that make sense? And the only way you can go through that change, if you understand what change means, C-H-A-N-G, choose happiness and never give excuses. Yes, so yes. That's the leader. See, the leader has vision, because the leader is the only animal. An eagle is the only animal in the world that's got a third layer in the eye that allows you to look at the sun. And you see, you can see a prey 5 kilometers away. So you got to have long-term vision in this business that you can look far away. You got to go through the 90-day plans, the 90-day strategies of the game plan to get to the very top. The second thing, the eagle associates only with other eagles. Yes, so yes. The eagle doesn't associate with sparrows. The eagle doesn't associate with pigeons. The eagle doesn't associate with chickens. Yes? By the way, yesterday evening I had chicken. I don't have anything against chickens, but you'll never see an eagle on the menu. Many of you today are still associating with chickens. You get some chickens who come into your team, they look like eagles, they smell like eagles, but they're chickens. Does that make sense? And you're holding the chicken and say, chicken fly, chicken fly, chicken fly, chicken RVP, but chickens can't fly. It's got a big belly and it's got little arms. The chicken knows to pluck. Does that make sense? And it's a pyramid. Can't do this. You just stop hanging out with chickens. Fly with the eagles. It's your association. When you come over here, you're going to find eagles. Does that make sense? Eagles on the top. By the way, eagles mate in the air. Do you know that? Eagles make love in the air. You have two eagles that intertwine and then go all the way down. The chickens below are looking, think the eagles are falling down, but the eagle is looking down and says, I'm making love, brother. Because the eagle knows no chicken can come at that level. That's why the eagle will only hook up with the eagle. Eagle knows, no way that I'm going to hook up with the chicken. Yes, so yes. So stop hanging around with chickens, because if you hang around with chickens, all you'll have is tandoori. Yes? And then an eagle never takes anything dead. It catches its prey fresh. No matter you're an RD, no matter you're an SVP, an eagle always goes out and does what it's got to do. So a leader in ACN is in phase 1. Yes, every single day. No matter what you've done in the past, it doesn't matter. You go out and lead by example. You go out and show other people how it's done. Because a leader goes the way, shows the way, and knows the way, and helps other people. Because you see, leaders don't seek power, they seek to empower. Yes, so yes. That's why EAGLE stands for E-A-G-L-E-S, empower and grow, letting everyone succeed. Your people, if you're a leader, they don't look at your mouth, they look at your feet and see what you're doing. People won't do what you say, people will do what you do. Yes, so yes. So being in phase 1 is the 4 fundamental P's: personal customers, personal recruitment, promoting events, and personal development. Every single day, day after day, they're in phase 1. So what happens with, as a champion, you will be guided by systems, you'll be guided by a mentor, or you'll be a post. L, you're a leader. And champions, one of the final characteristics is D, they are deciders. Yes, they make decisions, and at some point in your life, in their lives, you look at champions, you will see a turning point the day the decision is made. Some of you here right now are making decisions right now. Some of you are right now making decisions. See, deciders change at a moment, and in the moment of that change, at the moment of decision, your destiny is changed forever. Yes, so yes. There was once in a big manufacturing company, there was a huge engine that had a huge problem, and they didn't know what the problem was. So they blew in engineers from all over the world, experts, nobody could fix the problem. So at that time, one of the individuals in the actual company said, I know this old man who fixes engines. So the old man was brought in, he looked at this big engine, the engineers spent months trying to fix this, they couldn't. He actually came, took a hammer, hit on one part of the machine starts to work. Next day, he sends an invoice, the actual repair work, $10,000 for 2 minutes of work. The actual executives were unhappy, the owners of the company. What? He just went and hit with a hammer. What's 10,000? That's not right. Give us an itemized bill for how you worked out 10,000. Next day, the old man sent an itemized bill, and it was very simple. Hitting with the hammer $1,000, knowing where to hit 9,000. Every one of you today knows where to hit. You know how to follow the system. You know how you can become a champion. But the question is, are you going to hit it? And are you going to follow it? And if you make that decision, you know how to become a senior vice president. But the question is, are you going to make a decision to make that climb? I made a decision. I was a complete failure for the first year in ACN. I didn't even get qualified. I was a complete loser in ACN, 1 whole year. And then I came to an event like this, and the decision was made. And the decision was made because before ACN, I was a lion in a cage, yes? The lion is the master of the jungle. I was a lion in a cage, but then all of a sudden I saw the one thing that I wanted in my life. And today, because of ACN, I'm a free lion. Yes, so yes. And it all came from that one decision. I want to tell you one of the most powerful stories that I've ever witnessed in my life. It was the year 1989, and I like to play cricket. I'm a semi-professional cricket player. It was the year 1989. India was playing Pakistan, and it was the 5th day of the test, and India was losing because on the pitch were the biggest, the best bowlers, the fastest bowlers in the world. Waqar Yunis at that time, and Mr. Akram over there, Wasim Akram, and they were bowling, and they were getting all the best batsmen out, and India was losing the test. It was the last day. All that the Indians had to do was not get out and stay in the game. But all the batsmen were getting out because it was the fastest pitch in the actual, these batsmen were saying, I've never seen a pitch this fast, we can't even see the ball. And then many of the batsmen went out, and a 16-year-old kid walks into the pitch. Very short, very lanky. He walks in the pitch and he's now facing these fast bowlers. And guess what? You know, he look at the environment around him is high pressured, because all he has to do is stay in the game and he has to not get out. He must not get out. And then comes the ball, and the ball comes in. A ball comes in 150 kilometers an hour, and there's a bouncer, and it hit his nose, and there this kid was on the floor with blood everywhere. The physiotherapist came running down. All the people came around. 16-year-old kid on the floor. Everybody saying, what is this happen? You know what? That kid should not even be playing this game. It is so dangerous. He could lose his life. The physiotherapist said, listen, you know what? I don't think you're fit to play anymore. Let's get you back up. And he's actually putting the blood, they're removing the blood from everywhere. And his co-partner came in and says, I think you should retire. You should retire hurt. Don't worry, there are other games. You know what? And he's washing. And so he got up. And now the physiotherapist says, come, let's go. And he said the 3 greatest words that changed the course of history forever. And the 3 words he said was this: I will play. Blood on his nose and his clothes. Next ball comes in and he knocks it for a sixer. And he looks at the eye of the bowler for the very first time and he said, bring whatever you've got, but you're not going to get me out. And he stood in that game and he made India win that. India had drawn that match. And that 16-year-old kid became the greatest batsman of all times in the world, Sachin Tendulkar. Because that kid made a decision on that day. Even if everybody's telling me to leave, I am not going to leave. I am going to play. I am actually going to, this is the place where I am going to fight. Because I heard that song, it's my fight song. Yes, I'm going to fight and I'm going to plant my flag over here. Each and every one of you, if you made a decision today that you're going to take this information with you and you're going to fight and you're going to plant your flag. What does flag stands for? F-L-A-G, fight like a giant. Yes, so yes. It doesn't matter how big the opposition is. It doesn't matter what anybody throws at you, but you got to fight like a giant every single day. No matter what position you are going to be opposed. You got to start having fun with it. My uncle came to me the other day and he says, Liju, are you still doing that gas thing? I said, yes. Liju, when is the time? Do you not realize that it's a scam? When will he ever realize that it's a scam? I said, no, uncle. When will you realize that you are a scam? Because what does scam stand for? S-C-A-M, still confused about money. I said, but Liju, listen, I saw so many people who did ACN and they didn't succeed. You know, I said, what is the problem with you? Why are you listening to failures? Why don't you look at the ACN success stories and see how many people did succeed? Because let me tell you something. If you have a dental problem, will you go to a gynecologist? And if you have a plumbing problem, will you go to a dentist? No. If you want to buy a Lamborghini, stop taking advice from Toyota drivers. But he said, those people fail, Liju. I said, listen, you got to stop listening to your broke friend, Mr. Brokenzano. Listen to my mentor, Mr. Provenzano. And that's when I realized that my uncle was still living in the cave. I call him the caveman, C-A-V-E-M-A-N, citizen against virtually everything, morning and night. Yes or yes? So you see, my friends, today is that opportunity. You're going to go across that opposition. But if you want to win gold, you got to go through that. Because this is the simple thing that I want to let you know. It's the simplest thing is business. All you got to understand is the simplest presentation is take a mobile phone in front of your friends and ask them this one question. Will you ever stop using this mobile phone? No. Do you like to get paid on this mobile phone for the rest of your life? Yes. Then come join ACN. It's $500. Yes or yes? That's the presentation. The one who gets it will get it. The one who doesn't get it will not get it. Yes or yes? Because let me tell you something, today every single one of you have been robbed out of every excuse that you can ever have today. You must have been coming here with diseases like bronchitis, excuseitis, pocketitis. It's all gone today. Yes or yes? I want you to go out here with such a posture that you know what, you have a backbone and not a wishbone. You go out there and understand that ACN is an opportunity. It's not a hope-opportunity or a wish-opportunity. It's an opportunity. I came here last time, I told you how to grow in ACN. G-R-O-W. You got to set your goal. It has got to be realistic. You have the options of being in phase 1 and you've got to have the willpower to actually go out and do what you got to do. Then I told you how to have power in ACN. You got to have P, the posture. You got to go across the overcoming the objections and the challenges. You got to have a work ethic. You got to have enthusiasm, and you got to have a resolve to go and get what you want. And now you got grow, you got power, and now you have gold. All you got to do is go out there and be guided by the system of ACN and the mentors of ACN. Be opposed on a day-by-day basis, understanding that your opposition is bringing your opportunity. Become a leader as of today, a professional leader, and then go out there and decide, make a decision today that you're going to create your legacy in ACN. Legacy stands for L-E-G-A-C-Y. Let every generation after celebrate you. Yes or yes? No more will you have that excuse anymore that you're going to do it. And so as you go out there, say, listen, I am in ACN. It's the world's largest direct seller of telecom, energy, and essential services. I'm going to do this business with or without you. I'm going to get into my destination. DESTINATION, driving each second towards inspiration, narrating a transcript, ignoring out negatives. Yes or yes? I'm going to get to my destination with or without you, because I'm building my legacy here in ACN. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Thomas, Liju Thomas, and I'm a Regional Vice President. Thank you very much.